All right, this is the tutorial for Module 11, Lesson 2, and I'm going to cover Task 1 and Task 2 on deriving and applying formulas for surface area of cubes and right prisms. All right, so let's take a look. We got a wooden toy box here, and if you remember, any rectangular prism, any box, kind of like what we talked about in the first module, I'm sorry, well, the first lesson from this module has 6 sides. So if I were to flatten this out, we would make a net. And how many how many faces would it have, or how many sides would it have? Of course, any toy box or any box, any cardboard box that we have would have, of course, 6 sides. Okay, I have 6 faces. And if we flattened it out, it would look like this. Okay, um, and our 2 sides um, are 18, 18 by 15. And you've got the base here, which probably would be the bottom. And you've got this base here, which would be the top. And you've got the front of it and the back of it, and they have lengths of 35. Okay, so if you were to roll this thing up together, it would form that toy box that you see up above. Okay, so what can we say about which of the following are shown directly by the net above? And let's think about all that apply here. All right, do the faces share a common edge? Well, I don't think we can see that they share a common edge, just like that we can't see that they share a common vertex, but we can see the dimensions of the faces. We see 35, we see 15 and 18. Those are our dimensions. We're not talking about something in 3 dimensions here, so because we're looking at just the net, so we can't see the volume of it, but we can see the entire surface area because surface area is everything that we can touch about it. So we can see the dimensions and we can see the surface area of the toy box. All right. All right, now let's select the statements that correctly describe which faces are congruent. So congruent meaning they are the same. Are all the faces congruent? No, all the faces aren't congruent. It's not a cube. If it were a cube, then all the faces are congruent. Are the 2 bases congruent? Yeah, the 2 bases, the top and the bottom, those are congruent. Those look exactly the same. Then, of course, the left and right faces are congruent. Okay. And the sides, the front and the back, left and right would be the sides, and the front and the back. So I've got those would all be congruent. Okay. Now, what is the shape of the 2 bases of the toy box? So look at that shape, the bases. Those look like rectangles, right? Yeah, those are going to be rectangles. Okay. Now, what is the combined area of both bases? So we need to go up and look at our dimensions. Okay. Now we've got a dimension here. If you look at this one is 35, and we've got this one that's 18. Okay. So let's write this out. We've got 35 times 18, but then we have 2 of those, so we need to go 35 times 18 times 2. 35 times 18 times 2, and that gives us 1,260. So let's go ahead and put that in, or look for the answer down here, 1,260. Okay, check that. Okay, good. All right. All right, they're nice to give us another picture here. All right, what's the combined area of the front and the back? All right, so the front has a dimension of 15 by 35, and so same with the back. So we've got 2 of those. So we're going to go 15 times 35, and again we have 2 of those. So 15 times 35 times 2. So that's 1,050. So let's find that on here. There we go. And hopefully you're seeing how I can find these dimensions by looking just right at the picture. All right, and then we've got the left and the right faces. Okay, so we've got the sides. And of course the side is 18, and this side right here, which would match up with this one, would be 15. So we've got two sides that are 18 times 15, and there's two of those. So we've got a side of 18 times 15 times 2, and that is 540. Okay. Dropping down to E, 540. Let's check that. So which best explains how to find the total surface area of it all? Well, to find the total surface area, are you just going to add the areas of each face of the box? Yeah, if you just add all the areas, you should find the surface area. Okay, so we take those three numbers that we got, 540, 1,050, and 1,260, and that will give us the total surface area. Okay, 1,260, 1,050, 540, and there we go, 2,850. So now we're going to get into more of a generalization. Instead of using numbers here, we're going to actually apply some letters to this. So we've got the length, we've got the width, and we've got the height. So notice the front and the back are actually the height of it. The length and the width are the base of it, and the sides actually consist of the width and the height. Okay, so what actually is my surface area? Okay, well, I'm actually multiplying each one of these by 2 because I've got 2 times the length times the width plus 2 times the length times the height plus 2 times the width times the height, because I actually have 2 of each of these. Okay, I have a length and a width and a length and a width consisting of the base. I have a length and a height and a length and a height consisting of the front and the back. And I have a height and a width and a height and a width consisting of the sides. So 2 of each of those. So that's why I put the number 2 in each one of these. All right, since LW is the area of what? LW is the area of the base, you can replace LW with capital B. So that gives the formula surface area is 2 times B plus 2 times LH plus 2 times HW. So length, 2 times length times height plus 2 times height times the width. Okay. So both parts of the expression contain 2LH plus 2WH. Both of them have an H. So you can factor out that H. So a complete calculation. Now, again, this is getting more abstract, but you'll see where it goes when we do the next task. When you factor out that H out of them, you're left with something. So when I factor out the H here, I'm left with an L here, and I'm left with a W here. Now that 2L plus 2W means something, and that 2L plus 2W represents my perimeter. Okay, the distance around the outside of the base. And that allows us to simplify this formula for surface area. Okay, so now I have the formula for surface area is 2 times the area of the base plus the perimeter multiplied times the height. Okay, surface area equals 2 times the base plus the perimeter multiplied times the height. So once you know the area of the base, you multiply it times 2, and you add that to the perimeter multiplied times the height, and it allows you to find the surface area. And it actually will allow you to do it much easier. Okay. All right, so let's actually apply that in task number 2. All right, so in task number 2, we have this bottle right here, and the surface area of a right prism, which we just talked about, 2 times the base plus perimeter times the height, where B is the base area, P is the base perimeter, H is the height of the prism. All right. So for its annual fundraiser, Foundation is giving away water bottles like the one shown. What is the surface area of the water bottle, treating the top surface as flat and ignoring the spout? Okay, so from the picture, the area of the base is what? Okay, well, says the area of the base is 6.9 square inches. So I'm going to put 6.9 in there. And the height is what? Well, looking at the picture, it says 8. So now we need to find the perimeter of the base. Okay, and there's 5 sides, so we know it's a pentagon. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? So that's 10 inches. Okay. So now let's apply this. So we're going to substitute for capital B, okay, which was 6.9. We know we have a perimeter of 10, so we're going to substitute for the height, which was 8. And now we need to find 2 times 6.9. So 2 times 6.9, and that is 13.8, 13.8. And then we're just going to simply add 13.8 and 80 together, and that gives me 93.8. So this is just a simple application. Once you have, and that actually, that X should not be there. That's okay. It is 6.9. This is just a simple application. Once you have the formula 2B plus 2pH, and once you find the area of the base, you set that aside and you add it to the perimeter of the base multiplied by the height. Okay, hopefully this tutorial was helpful for you and you can apply it to the check understanding and on your own. Thanks for watching.